my name is Matthew Sissom, and today I'm going to be walking you through my level for Battle Block Theater Gem Heist. So you'll see when you first load into the level, you can see your target, the gems you're going to be stealing, which are sort of locked behind this big blue wall. You can't get to them from the start, so you're going to have to find some way to get around it. The first thing you do in the level is climb down this big ladder. Firstly, it teaches the players about ladders, which is going to be really important in the rest of the level, and it also adds to the theming of this sort of being a sewer with murky water. So you're going to infiltrate the bank using this underground passageway. Here, like I said, ladders are going to be a really important part of the level, so the player is tasked with jumping and then grabbing onto ladders. So this jump is a little tricky. The timing is pretty precise, but there's a couple ways for the players to practice. There's, like I was showing earlier, this jump here, where you can practice the timing for grabbing onto ladders midair, and it's also relatively low stakes. Even if you die, there's checkpoints right there. Here you can see there's clearly no way to progress to the right. There's this big danger warning sign, and if you try to get over there, you'll just die. So the player has to go to the left, where they'll learn about the second main mechanic of this level, which is fans. The player's in no real danger here. They can sort of sit here and scope out the rest of the level, and wait for the right time to head over to this section. Here the player can use their newly found ladder grabbing skills to hold onto this ladder to prevent the fan from blowing them up into the beam above them. Once they find the right timing, they'll go up to this section where, oh no, you get really shot off to the right. So now the player has to problem solve a little bit, maybe sit here a little longer until they see the ladders up at the top of this section. So again, it's another problem where the player can jumping and grabbing the ladder is the solution. But they sort of additionally learn about this interaction between ice blocks and fans, where they'll really shoot you at some pretty ridiculous speeds. Here you can see there's sort of this interesting area up to the left, where there's this big red button. What does that do? But there's obviously the water blocking your progress. So here the player has to sort of use the power that they found out about with the fans in the ice block to their advantage. So this is a sort of a peak of the level where you make this daring jump across this lake, and so it feels really good, but there's actually no real skill involved. If you just go all the way to the right and let go, you'll always make this jump. So here, you see this big red button, and you finally find out what it does, and oh man, there's rocks everywhere. So your progress off to the right is mostly blocked, so you take this leap of faith down here. And you can see sort of the main point of these rocks is to give safety, and that's really reinforced by your first introduction to them, where this drop would have definitely killed you before, but now you're totally fine. And again, this jump, which is pretty tricky, which might cause players a bit of trouble, is totally safe because of the rocks. So now the player can make their way over to the right after this cave-in they've collapsed. And again, they sort of have another big moment similar to the fan in the ice block earlier, where they sort of make this leap of faith to grab the ladder at the end. Now we switch into sort of the second act of the level, where you're really infiltrating the bank. So here you can see this sort of security system where, oh no, if you let the raccoon get to the end, they'll make the floors disappear. So you've got to figure out some way to make this jump. The timing is not too tricky. you've got a pretty big grace period where you can jump after those blocks disappear, to again, make the ladder jump. Here you can see that sort of the blue that was introduced in the beginning, the big blue wall that keeps you from hiding, keeps you from getting all the gems. We're sort of fading from the gray that was associated with the sewer and the tunnel underground to the blue of the bank. So this is the last stretch. So here the player can sort of play with this, figure out what this trap's going to do, and it's going to fire a giant laser beam down this tunnel, which is sort of set up the same way as the other mechanism. So again, this is sort of one of those cinematic moments where the timing's not too tight, but it feels really cool. So you wait for the laser beam to fire, you run down this tunnel, and you grab on the ladder right as the laser beam passes over your head. Now, off to the left, you can see you finally made it. The big stash of gems that was set up from the beginning of the level is finally yours. So you can climb this ladder out and make your way to the exit. That's all. Thanks for watching.